All right, everybody. As you can see tonight, we're down one member. It's just Peebs and I, but we're going to do something that we've been begging to do since we started this channel, something that this channel was founded on, something that I think maybe the biggest thing about this channel is fan interaction. Without a doubt. And I think it's really huge that we respond when we ask questions and people respond, we respond back. So we're going to do a quick video. This was from Blake Maxwell, which is my good friend Butch Maxwell's son. It's a video, and we put out a post on Facebook and asked, what kind of show do you guys want us to see? That being said, Blake said, who portrayed Batman the best? As you all know, fans of the show, we've already done who portrayed the Joker best. To date, one of our better shows.
Yeah, I love that show. A
lot of banter back and forth. I think at least two different opinions on it. And everybody had good sides. Everybody made good sense of why their Joker was better. I don't think this is going to be any different. What we're going to do is we're going to dive right into it. When you're talking about Batman, to me, not just DC, all of comics in general, he may be the most popular superhero there is.
I think he's the most iconic character. You can go up to anyone who's never read a comic book and you can say the name Batman and they automatically know who it is.
Exactly.
I think the same goes with Superman, but I think now after we had the Nolan trilogy, I think Batman is more of an iconic character than Superman is, which is saying a lot.
Because when you think of all the characters, including the Marvel characters, not just DC, with Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, up until these movies was not even in the same millennium as the Batman. He's gained a lot of momentum lately. Still iconically worldwide, I'd still say Batman dominates him by name. With that being said, I think we'll dive right into it, and all of the older people who's watching this remember in their childhood, Adam West and the Batman series, even Peebs and I, we seen the reruns of it. And got us interested in Batman back then, and with the pow and the boom and all that. And Adam West, I mean, a testament to him. If we watch it now, it looks cheesy, but back then, it was fantastic. It was a comic book coming alive.
Yeah. My childhood, not quite was Adam West, but it was Batman the animated series. Oh my God, I would binge that show every time it came on. If there was a marathon, whatever, I was in the theaters to see when they did the Phantom Mask of it, the actual movie that got released, for y'all that may not know. But it had a great cast. The dude that played Batman sounded like how Batman should. And then we won't even get started that long on, Mark Hamill as the Joker, just quintessential.
Destroyed it.
Yeah, quintessential, that Joker voice in your head. I mentioned it in the Joker video. They had, a lot of stuff that was even like dark for kids, and now, dear God, with the snowflake kids we have nowadays, I can't imagine what they would do with it. But I mean, there was cartoon violence. I mean, I think people died in the show. I mean, it was a brutal show for its time, and that's, that was the Batman that I grew up with. And, but to me,
dude, he's a dark character.
Yeah.
I mean, he don't per se kill people.
No.
He makes you wish you were dead. He also, they call him the Dark Knight for a reason.
Yeah.
He goes into a dark place. He had to go to a dark place to create that character. That guy is serious. And let's make no mistake, he don't have any serum. He's not from another planet. This is a dude that's got a will that's unbreakable and a lot of money to spend on gadgets. And he's the most prepared superhero ever.
Yeah, there's a panel that I believe explained Batman very well. That I believe it was in the New 52. I could be wrong, but I believe everyone was first meeting for at the same time. It was Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Wonder Woman put the lasso of truth on her to tell who she was, and she said Diana Themyscira. Put it on Superman, and he said Clark Kent. Put it on Batman. Batman said Batman.
So that's it.
Yeah,
I tell you all you need to know. So he is. When you think of what he done to get to where he is, what he done to become Batman, and how he's willing to take on the negativity of the city. He wants to, take the focus off of all of Gotham, take the focus off of him, what he's doing. He's a selfless superhero. That's Batman, dude. He don't matter if he has to do it above the law, whatever. He knows what's right and wrong, and he's not going to stop till he gets it done. I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He's an unbelievable, iconic superhero. With that being said, I think it's time to dive into who we think. Do you want me to go first, or you want to?
You want to like start at the bottom and work our way up, and then finish with who we think's the best?
Let's do. I think we're probably going to be similar on this. I tell you what. Let's just go. Let's just dive into who we think the best and why, because I think we may agree on it.
I want to cover like all the terrible adaptations of Batman.
Okay.
I mean, to me, the bottom has to be George Clooney. I mean.
Do you think he's worse than Val Kilmer?
Oh, by far. I mean,
he didn't take the role serious. I didn't think he dove into it. I didn't think he was all in.
George Clooney phoned in a check. That's what he did.
I think so too. And he did it when he was popular.
Yeah.
And he knew that he could get cast for that, and he knew that he was going to get a massive check for it. And it showed in his work. You know what I'm saying? You're right.
Kilmer. I mean, it's.
I thought Kilmer was a good, decent Bruce Wayne. I thought he was an atrocious Batman.
Dude, Kilmer was great. Bruce Wayne.
Because he was smooth, and he like Iceman in Top Gun. He's smooth, calm, cool, and collective, which is what Bruce Wayne is. Got a little bit of hint of arrogance about him because he is a billionaire. But he played that role good.
He had the suaveness for the Bruce Wayne aspect. He didn't really have the darkness of what Batman should be. And then again, that once again kind of falls on the movie itself. It wasn't a dark movie. It was more of Jim Carrey's in the movie, and Tommy Lee Jones phones in his best Jim Carrey impression. I mean, watch the movie. Like Tommy Lee Jones is trying to be Jim Carrey. It's just like.
A side note before we go any further: why do you not think they brought the Riddler back? Because he don't fit the darker image. But he is a dark character, though.
The Riddler is very dark.
But I don't think they know how to intertwine him into these modern Batmans.
I think
not getting sidetracked too much.
I think the Nolanverse brought in the perfect villain for each movie, and we would have got a completely different third movie. Being if Heath Ledger were to survive,
he would have joined up with Bane, and then all hell would break loose.
But I think he brought in a perfect villain for each, and I don't really think he had a Riddler spot in those movies, and we haven't really got a standalone Batman movie since then.
I agree, but back to your point. So you loved Kilmer as Bruce Wayne?
Yes, Kilmer's a great movie.
Batman, not so much.
No.
All right, next tier.
Probably Adam West.
For his time, here's the thing though, you got to take it for his time.
For his time, yeah.
For his time, I thought he was murdering it. Because back then it was still kind of cheesy. I mean, we're talking about before it got dark. You know what I mean?
It was a very different time, but to me, it's just so much of the comedy aspect and the always infinite running joke of the anti-shark repellent spray. I mean,
no matter where they was, the anti-something spray.
I mean, even the Lego Batman movie brought out the anti-shark repellent spray, and I was just like, I was shaking my head. I was just like, dear God, really?
I forgot about that, but yeah, that was a running joke forever because don't matter what situation they were in, they had anti-something or, Adam West, I'll give you that. For his time, he murdered it, but it just shows how TV in general has changed. And comics themselves have changed over time. You know that. This is where we start to disagree.
Yeah, this is my number 4 would probably be Christian Bale.
Overall?
Or no, since we're going up the list, there's only 3 left, right?
3 left.
So
that I know of.
Yeah, top 3. The third in my top 3 would be Christian Bale.
Overall, but he's in the most successful.
He's in the most successful trilogy. He plays a great Batman. He plays an abysmal Bruce Wayne, which I think is what drags him down.
Where is he?
I think for the Nolanverse, perfect. I mean, we got a very few tastes of him being Bruce Wayne in that movie and actually being Bruce Wayne. Like in Batman Begins, when he shows up and they're like, why are you at the board meeting? And he's like, the company went public or whatever. He's like, yeah, I know, I bought all of the stocks.
Yeah.
Or when he's swimming in the, I think Batman Begins actually has his best Bruce Wayne moments because he's swimming in the pool, and they're like, you can't swim in the pool. Well, actually, no, that's in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't swim in the pool, and he hands him a check, and he's like,
I just bought this place.
yeah, he's like, it's not about money, sir. He's like, no, I just bought the hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has the best Bruce Wayne moments, and then you go to The Dark Knight Rises, which is, of course, dominated by the Joker. That's basically the Joker Rises.
Yeah.
And then you go to Dark Knight Returns, and you really don't have the time for a Bruce Wayne. It's a broken down, kind of an old man Bruce Wayne. His body's failing him, and it may be that you didn't get to see him enough as the Bruce Wayne role, that he didn't hit it off as good as he could have, but...
He was basically a hermit at that point.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't even leave his house, and, you know.
But I think every time he was Batman, even though I'm not a big fan of the deep voice, that I think he murdered Batman. Like, the actual Batman character. He was just not a good Bruce Wayne, so that's why he's 30 out of the top 30.
I thought you could see some of the struggles he was going through, even as Batman. Of course, with Bruce Wayne, his body was shutting down. He was at the end of his rope. He was just fighting through it just for the betterment of Gotham at that point. And I thought he did a good job portraying that. To me, some of his best moments was in Batman Begins when he was becoming Batman.
Yeah.
I thought he did a phenomenal job at the start of that movie, coming out of prison and Ra's al Ghul and all that, and one of them, the League of Shadows, and becoming Batman. I thought that was very educating to people who maybe not know anything about Batman, or people who were like loose Batman fans and was like, what would that look like in a movie? And then you've seen it happen, and you was like, bro, this is, and it makes you really think. You're like, if there was a guy superhero, this kind of is realistic.
Yeah.
With this kind of training, this dude's that bad, and he works his butt off, and he's strategic, and he had all these outlets to where he can get all this stuff. This could probably happen, which I thought was a phenomenal job of doing that. But he's actually my number 2. He's Peeves' number 3. My number 2, I think we're both going to agree on this, is who do you got?
Number 2, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Keaton's my number 3. He's Peeves' number 2. We're both going to agree on number 1.
God, so many people are going to rag on us on number 1 and 2, I think. But Michael Keaton. Yeah, Michael Keaton, he hits it off as Bruce Wayne. He hits it off as Batman. And as much as I absolutely just despise Tim Burton, like, those two movies are actually good. And
Tim Burton makes anything he touches childlike goofy. It's like you have a 7-year-old with a lot of money who makes a movie or something. I don't know. He did it with the Chocolate Factory. He did it with this. Everything he touches turns into a 7 to 11-year-old Wonderland Playland. But to Keaton's credit, I think he also had an unbelievable villain to play off of.
Yeah.
Was Jack Nicholson at that time. I thought he absolutely murdered the Joker. I thought he did. And I even said, walking into the theater, when Ledger was playing Joker, I'm like, why is this idiot playing the Joker, dude? There's nobody ever going to touch what Jack Nicholson did. Leave it alone. I left the theater, and I was speechless for the first 45 minutes to an hour of what I just seen on film. Never seen anything like it to date. Still have it. And I was like, man, this guy, he's not an actor. This guy is the Joker. With that being said, I think Bale and I think Michael Keaton both got something to bounce off of.
Yeah. I mean, even in Batman Returns, the second one, I mean, he had an all-star cast of villains too.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Danny DeVito is the Penguin. I mean, even though the second one's a lot darker than the first one, you're just kind of like, what kind of fetish were you into at this point? But I think it was a lot darker. Then, of course, you had Michelle Pfeiffer, which, God.
She was bad.
Yeah.
She is bad. I'm sorry, guys. She is still bad.
Yeah, there's no
If you've
one-
seen Ant-Man, she's still bad.
Yeah, like, wow, like, she doesn't age really. Like, what?
And God, that was. You're right. That was a little darker. Even for Tim Burton, I thought it was darker.
Yeah, it was way darker.
But one thing I thought he did, which was phenomenal, I thought he did a fantastic job of bringing the Batman into modern day.
Yeah.
Because even the new ones that they have, I still base them off of that Burton Batmobile. Batmobile, excuse me. Because when he the Batmobile he made in, was that 90 or 89? I think it was 89, the first one. But the Batmobile, I was like, I remember having a poster of that Batmobile in my room. And I was like, bro, this is the Bat. And then when when the Christian Bale movies come out, I was like, this is
The Bat
yeah, I was like, this ain't like what we had, bro. What's going on here? But I thought he brought, because look what Adam West and them rode around.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like a convertible. I mean, it looked kind of like a damn El Camino or something.
But to your point on the Christian Bale thing, I think it fit. I think the Nolan verse really, they aimed for a more realistic like universe in the Batman, and I think they really hit it home with like, you could see it happening. It wasn't a stretch of the imagination that, all of a sudden someone gets trained by assassins, all of a sudden they become a superhero, and all of this happens, and you could see it happening. All the other movies were so far-fetched that you're just like, okay, I don't see this actually happening.
People don't think, people don't think like, this guy wouldn't be beating up 5 or 6 guys in prison. There's people like that out there. And he went, and Ra's al Ghul, we find this guy. He's not going to mess with any human being that don't have, can't handle himself like that. But then he also, what we call pantsed him. I mean, he took him over there at League of Shadows and pantsed him, made him realize, yeah, you're bad in your realm, but this is what we do. And he pantsed him. And then he started dominating the League of Shadows. So then you're like, okay, I mean, if this dude can get out of here, and he's got the
Assassins,
money.
isn't it?
Yeah, League of Assassins, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then you're like, if this dude can get out of here, this dude's a real deal Holyfield. And he's got the resources to do it.
Yeah, I mean, not only was he trained by assassins and, trained on the streets and all of that, I mean, we're missing the point that the dude's an absolute billionaire, so it's like, he's got the money to put
Who had military tech in his back pocket.
Who had, his corporation had a military contract, and I mean, it kind of stretches his imagination, but you could see it happening. Like, it, really could.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made the Nolan verse so special. The Tim Burton universe, very far-fetched.
Yeah.
But that's Tim Burton, and
That's what he does.
One quick point on Tim Burton, I'm actually kind of looking forward to Dumbo, even though...
That's right up his alley, though.
Yeah, I think he could do it very well, but that's way off subject. But with that, Michael Keaton murdered both Batman and Bruce Wayne.
He's his 2, my 3.
Yeah, and
We both agree on number 1.
number 1, and y'all are probably going to roast us for
You
this.
can if you want, but we got factual things that's going to back this up. Is Affleck? Here's why. I know it sounds cheesy.
Yeah, it does.
But he's the biggest name actor to take the role. Hollywood hands out money for reasons. B, I respect anybody who changes their body like he did. The guy was straight up jacked. The guy looked like somebody who could bench 500 pounds, which is what he's supposed to be able to do. C, he knows how to play both roles.
Yes.
Not only does he know how to play them, he knows how to master them. He has a craft. You can dog me out if you want. The guy is an actor through and through. He murders both roles. When he's hurting and he's sitting there and he's getting his shoulder popped into place by Wonder Woman, you feel that. When he tells her, I can't do this forever, you feel that. When he's out there and he's battling, of all people, Superman, and the things he prepared when Superman showed up, you're like, I thought Superman would just, hey, Lori, I thought Superman would just wax the floor with him. Would you grab me? I thought Superman, anybody would say, okay, he'd kill him in an inch and a half. but not really.
I mean, I think in that universe they have buffed Superman so much that Superman probably could have killed him really easily if he wanted to.
I think he could, but he also knows that Superman don't do that to people.
Yeah.
So he played off of that. And if you give Batman an inch, he's going to take a mile. He had a good game plan. There's a few things in that movie I didn't like as far as their battle. We're not getting into the Doomsday stuff, but I thought if a human being could have stood up to Superman, he's the one who could do it.
Well, if you know anything about comics, you know Batman has actually got a plan for every single person in the Justice League to be able to take them down. And he's gone on record and said in comics that the hardest person to take down would actually be Wonder Woman. I mean, we all know Superman has just about infinite weaknesses compared to some of the other characters, kryptonite, magic, all of that. So
What does she have?
Wonder Woman doesn't really have a weakness.
She don't have a kryptonite.
No.
She doesn't get tired. She's...
No, and usually sometimes on comics, depending on her roster, she's like right there on par with Superman. Like, she's gone toe-to-toe with him in several fights.
That's why I was like shocked when they made the Justice League. What happened? I was like,
Oh God, we don't talk about it. And that's also got some kind of why I wouldn't like put, you know, Ben Affleck at like an A+. I'd give him an A or
yeah, I give him an A.
But you know,
Thank you.
everyone else like an A, you know, A- and down. But Justice League really ruined some of the characters for me for what they expected for what I expected out
This is
of
unreal.
Batman. That is
Oh my god. I was shocked with heaven.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But what I expected from Batman, I mean, I get when he's Bruce Wayne throwing out some quibs and stuff to Aquaman. Like I hear you talk to fish and all of that. That's okay, but just him cracking jokes at like the most
Just keep talking. I'm enjoying this.
unopportune times, like it's just it didn't feel all that a beer tasting out of nowhere.
Oh my god. Are you kidding
Oh
me?
my god, yeah. Well, sorry to interrupt the video on a beer, but
But this is a real in a beer. Jesus.
that is good. But
Wow.
there's some stuff that's not on point in Batman and Justice League. When he gets in the car and the Flash asks him what's his superpower and he says I'm rich, that
Spot
is
on.
perfect. That is
Spot
perfect.
on.
And he says it without
Spot on.
batting an eye. He says it without
I'm rich.
anything. The Aquaman thing, like I said, it's kind of a quibby thing, but he also does it in the same deadpan delivery.
Yeah.
And I can't think off the top of my head, but there's a couple other like quibs he has in that movie where he jokes around, but he also is like, you know, laughing, and it doesn't feel like Batman. But then in Batman vs Superman, he had the dark aspect down. He had the planning aspect down. He had the outsmarting, not just Superman to get him to, you know, fight on his terms. He outsmarted Luthor, which is, you know, not an easy task to do.
That never happens.
Yeah. His lines in that movie, he delivered them as Bruce Wayne. He delivered them as Batman, even though it's really, really dark Batman. I mean,
He's the angry Batman.
He's branding people. He's
So
doing all that.
they get
Yeah.
killed. He don't want to do it, but they will get killed in prison.
He's doing all of that, and he's you know going toe to toe on par with Luthor and, you know, smart. Which, if there is a saving grace in Justice League, it is that end scene, because Luthor, like, you know, Eisenberg with the shaved head and all that. I think
Deathstroke.
Yeah, I think he played a good Luthor. That's just me. A lot of people disagree with me.
The insane part, yes, the look terrible.
I don't like the look, but I liked him on the boat at the end of Justice League in the suit with the shaved head.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
I think that was, you know.
That's where they should have gone. Yeah.
But
Let me ask you this though. In the Batman versus Superman, you have no choice but to get down and as dirty as you possibly can if you're about to fight Superman.
yeah, you're basically fighting a god. I mean,
And he even said in that movie, which I thought was a genius line, he was like, as long as this guy is still walking around, we're all at risk. You know, this guy could at any time snap and turn on us, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how overpowered he became in Justice League, which we won't touch on, but in Batman and Superman, the dude survives getting nuked in space, coming back down, fighting Doomsday, all that it takes, finally Kryptonite to kill both him and Doomsday, which, oh god, Doomsday, tear in my eye because he's one of my favorite DC villains ever.
I thought they made his power.
They made his power correct. They made his look.
I tried, not good. We ran a little long. We have ran, but this video is very good.
Yeah, Affleck, he murders it. I can't think of, besides, and I'm sure they'll come to my mind after we're done with this video, but a few scenes in Justice League where it's out of character, but that's two different writers and directors going at the movie. So I think it's a byproduct of two different movies, but being put together is why he came off in Justice League as not good. But when he is on point, he makes that point, and he makes it count, and he covers the Batman. You see him, oh god. And
I thought he murdered it, man, from point A to point B.
The only thing, and I know a lot of people are against it, but I agree with it being the darker Batman, is in Batman and Superman, he straight up kills people. He's not afraid to do it.
Yeah. And dude, he was like mercifully, is that a word? Those guys, when he come in there to save Martha. I want to say Kyle. How do you say it?
Kal-El.
Kal-El's mom. At that point, he's, he comes in there and like ruthlessly is thrashing these people, like by hitting them in the neck, hitting them in the throat. Like, and let's be honest, these dudes has got submachine guns, and he's in there swinging on them, bro. You're like, I thought like I said, he had to be at that point. It was, he was at the end of his rope, and then when he realized, like, I can bring Superman. I can bring Superman in there if and help out. Get his mom on board. He's on board with me. You know what I'm saying? And they come together. But one of the best scenes by far and away in that movie, I love more than any of the other scenes, is when Wonder Woman shows up, and he goes, "I thought she was you." that scene right there, I was like, bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not. We're a little bit off topic, but this is something that I think is fantastic. The scene where he's about to die, Doomsday is about to straight up kill him, and he goes, he just buries up because he knows it's coming, and she pops up, and Doomsday hits her shield, and then her music starts playing, and I'm like, bro, are you kidding me right now? This is phenomenal.
The one thing I'll give Batman vs Superman and his acting in that movie is he played the role when they were fighting Doomsday so well that he was just
useless. Batman.
Yeah, Batman in that fight.
He did everything. He was useless. He did everything he could do.
Yeah, he knew he was useless once they got on the ground, and it was the three of them and Doomsday. He knew he was useless. He was just running away.
But he did a calculated move right at the end.
Yeah, he had the last gas grenade left.
Right. And that was calculated enough to just harness this idiot's energy just enough to let these other gods do what they do.
Yeah. But, okay, so bottom, Clooney for me. Next, Kilmer. Next, West. Next, Bell. Next, Keaton. And top, Affleck.
The only difference in the two is our 2 and 3. I'm with him on all aspects. I think the only difference is 2 and 3. So we're both in agreement as Affleck. I don't think Affleck has done it 100% justice.
No.
I'd give him a 90.
Yeah, I'd give him a flat 90. Maybe like a 92, so I could give, like...
The new Alfred, I say, is the best Alfred, though.
Oh, well, it's Jeremy Irons. I mean...
He's the beast, bro.
Jeremy Irons is a beast. Dude in the Nolan verse, who plays in every Nolan movie. Why I can't think of his name, I don't know, but he's a great Alfred too.
I can't say enough good things about how he portrays Alfred, because he's got that little bit of charisma charisma to him or something.
Oh, Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
Yeah, he's also very condescending of
Condescending, but charisma.
Batman.
Like, yeah, he's like, he makes jokes of enlightenment of the whole, bro, we've got a superhero here, and I'm his behind the scenes guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like one of my favorite jokes, and we'll cut it probably after this, is when Batman wakes up with some random chick, and there's a bunch of wine gone, and he's he's like, this wine has been here for 3 generations of the Wayne family, and he's like, then Batman walks off, and he's like, God, I hope there's the next generation of the Wayne family, and he just like buries his head, and you're just
Beautiful.
which, I mean, we saw in Batman and Superman that the Killing Joke, not the Killing Joke, I can't think of the name of the story, but the one where Jason Todd had died, we saw the suit with the Joker's writing on it.
Right.
Well, I can't remember stuff today, it's just killing me.
It's just the two of us, man. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, but we saw that Jason Todd had died in that universe, which is, kind of big, and which I think if the Titans show ties into that, there's an actual episode that's been leaked that's called Jason Todd, so we could actually get to see a Red Hood, and
Oh, man.
yeah.
That would be super teaser. This Saturday, Red Hood will be at this location. Not giving anything away right now. It's coming this Saturday. Go ahead.
But I think that'll be big if they connect the Titans show to the main DC universe, which they haven't said if they are, but it's going to be the first DC network exclusive, and we get Dick Grayson, who is always the good boy Robin. We get him saying "fuck Batman," which makes no sense because that's not Dick Grayson.
I think it was a shock value to get people to watch.
Now, if we find out that somehow is like Jason Todd dressed up as Dick Grayson, that would make a lot of sense.
I think DC's reeling a little bit and having to do stuff like that to get viewers.
Yeah, but then again, like we did, and which now we're way off topic, but we're discussing.
We're closing.
Yeah, we're about to close. But what I think they're riding the ship. I mean, after the Aquaman trailer, after the Shazam trailer, and after the teasers and everything that's come out from Wonder Woman 1984, I think they may be on that path to riding the ship. Because their standalone movies well, we only have one, Wonder Woman, but it's been good. As much as...
What people don't realize is those Christian Bale Batmans murdered box office.
Yeah.
They're not that far off. And with this Aquaman coming up, I think that may be the one that gets them back on track.
Yeah.
The Wonder Woman movie murdered it. Justice League was a $600 million movie. $600 million, I think.
Yeah, I want to say Batman vs. Superman touched $1 billion, or if not, it was right close to it.
So they're not that far off course, but they are off course. Guys, we're going to close out. Definitely ran long, but you know what? We've enjoyed it. Blake Maxwell, thank you for
Thanks for the topic, man.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
We spent 50 minutes on your topic probably.
Yeah.
Which is good. Please hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell beside it. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at AREEL, REEL, and a beer on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you guys.